Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I would like to share with you some of the findings regarding informed consent in the state of Georgia. So, I live in Georgia, and when I went to find my state board requirements regarding informed consent, it was a little tricky, and I ended up finding just a little blurb in Department 135, Rules of Georgia Composite Board of Professional Counselors, Social Workers, and Marriage and Family Therapists. So, Chapter 135-7 is the Code of Ethics for Georgia, and dash 7-.01 talks about responsibility to clients, and there is only a blurb that basically says a licensee's primary professional responsibility is to the client. The licensee shall make every reasonable effort to promote the welfare, autonomy, and best interest of families, individuals, including respecting the rights of those persons seeking assistance, obtaining informed consent, and making reasonable efforts to ensure that the licensee's services are used appropriately. So, as you can see, just one blurb right there in obtaining informed consent. So, that wasn't a whole lot about what does that look like? What does that mean? So, I thought, let me see if I can find anything else on this site. And that is when I found Department 510, so jumped from 135 over to 510, which are the rules of State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. Now, I know we are counselors, not psychologists, but when I looked at these recommendations or requirements from the state, it lines right up with the ACA Code of Ethics. So I thought, okay, this will be a good thing to look at and familiarize myself with. So this actually says psychologists inform clients, patients as early as is feasible in the therapeutic relationship about the nature and anticipated course of therapy, fees, involvement of third parties, limits of confidentiality, and provide sufficient opportunity for the client patient to ask questions and receive answers. So that is definitely right in line with ACA. So I think for the state of Georgia to go any deeper, we're going to have to look at the requirements for psychologists since there really aren't any listed for counselors. Now, when I did a search for professional counseling informed consent form from a clinician in my state, Georgia, I found several, and I chose this one because I thought it was very thorough. This is from the Epiphany Center, and this particular counselor, first of all, has a nice introduction, basically telling the client that the relationship with her is collaborative. She welcomes questions, comments, or suggestions. So that's right in line with what we just read for requirements of informed consent. She then goes on to disclose her credentials. She describes her views and client participation, stating the utmost importance of autonomy. She's very clear, very transparent. It's 4 pages. She then talks about confidentiality, records, structure, cost of sessions, fees, cancellation policy in case of emergency. She talks a lot about dual relationship, which I think is really important. And then she closes out with a statement regarding safety, welfare, no guarantees of counseling. The only thing I noticed she didn't do that the ACA Code of Ethics talks about doing is she does not mention anything regarding her death or incapacitation. And it's not clear if she is going to verbally go over this, though I think she's going to, because she says she is very much about having her clients ask any questions. So yeah, I'm assuming she's going to do that in their first session. Very thorough. And then I thought, is it too thorough? And that is exactly what Barnett, in a research article, he talks about how much information should one include. And he says that is actually unclear. It is possible to overwhelm a client with too much information. So I guess that is our goal as we do this. How much? There is no specific standard, Barnett says. So it's going to be up to us. And I think she did a great job of coming up with her informed consent statement of disclosure. Thank you very much.